Aloha folks, Mark back. I am at the Action Figuratorium, surrounded by all my goofy stuff that I own, and I have acquired another thing. Yes, one more thing for the Action Figuratorium, and we're going to be unboxing it today. What is it, you ask? Well, for those of you who have missed some of my previous unboxing exploits, I recently got a joyToy 1/18 figure that looks a little bit like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. She's kind of got the shorts and the top, not really the hair, but close enough. And the reason why I got this figure was I want to do a series of Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider, with Indiana Jones, sort of the original looter of antiquities, as I like to think of it. And I thought it'd be great to make them be as a team, like the old codger and the young girl, and they sort of, you know, they get into it, they don't understand each other, but at the end of the day, they, you know, something happens and somebody learns something. It's like a fable, just like anything. So along those lines, I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if we could do a 12-inch Indiana Jones and a 12-inch Lara Croft? And so you don't have to look around very far to find these types of toys. There is, of course, a 12-inch Lara Croft that Barbie made. Those are pretty inexpensive. They look terrible. Let's just say it. They look terrible. They're not really what we're going for. So I did find an actual 12-inch Lara Croft Tomb Raider from the movies, which different than the character I'm thinking of from the game. Even though the character from the movie is based on the game, this is still based on the face of Angelina Jolie. So that's going to make it kind of interesting. At first I thought this would throw things off a little bit, but since Indiana Jones is based on the face of Harrison Ford, I was thinking about some of the toys I have and how it looks like Robin Williams or that dude from Spaceballs. But that's okay, and so I think it's just going to make the comedy even that much more greater. So today we are going to be opening this dog. This is a, look at that, that is a in-the-box Tomb Raider, and unlike you guys out there, I actually open my toys. That is, if I bought them to play with them, I'm going to open them. I don't, anyways, stick with me. It's coming up. All right, here we are on the subject cam, and it is quite warm in the studio today, I have to say. The August heat is crazy. So we can see the box, and just in case anybody was doubtful, we have an Indiana Jones on site, ready to go. Okay, kids, we have Indy ready to go. This is from Playmates. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. The box is shiny and looks very well made. Looks like it has artwork that ties in from the movie. There are a bunch of other figures you can get. I assume these are probably like a 4 or 5-inch. These are all Lara Crofts in different outfits. This one looks kind of cool. It's the sort of the mini version of this. Here's one that's a little more video game based. So it's right there. Let's see if we can open this and extract the toy. All right, once you've opened the bottom of the box, and this is kind of like the Indiana Jones figure itself. Once you open the bottom box, you can pull the whole tray out. This, you get kind of a, not really a diorama of the character, but you know how it is. So if you look on the back, you see they attach these toys with twisty ties, and I have yet to not see twisty ties involved in toys at all levels. Alright, so other things that come with the toy before we look at the figure itself, there are a couple of these silver pistols. It's like kind of like a Glock or something. There is this really wacky machine gun with no barrel. It's like an AR-15 or something. And then here's like her little raver backpack. It's cute. So let's look at the figure itself. Let's see here. We've got... So she's the figure is missing quite a bit of articulation. There's no moving wrists, no moving elbows, the arms swing, the head rotates, the legs do not move. It's basically a figurine that poses. It can't really do much in the way of posing other than to hold guns. It does have some cool holsters on it and belts, etc. It has a rubber band on it that it does not want to come off. We won't fix that. That would just rot anyways. So there we have that figure. And then she's with the master.
Archaeology is the search for facts.
See, that's what he tells his new apprentice, his new pupil. So these guys are going to make a great team out in the wild. I think we're going to take them on location to a whole bunch of places that are dangerous, difficult to get to, a lot of outdoor locations, and we're going to put them to work. Alright, so there is the 12-inch Lara Croft Tomb Raider based on the movie. It is semi-posable. It has moving arms and a head. Nothing else on it is articulated. It is essentially a statue or a figurine. It would have been great to get something a little bit more posable. But I believe at the end of the day, you're going to have to just buy a generic 12-inch female body and then throw down for the Lara Croft head sculpt. And in which case, the uniform here, the clothing would be perfect for the figure. And so you would just have to custom make one, because the other Lara Crofts in 12-inch that they make are pretty lame. And this one looks pretty good. I almost feel as if maybe you could take the head off this one and adopt it to a ball joint type figure. Let's pump a little light onto Mr. Jones. All right, so the 12-inch Lara Croft Tomb Raider, based upon the movie version, with Angelina Jolie, made by Playmates. Has a really well done face. It looks like the actress. Has a pretty hot body, has a lot of cool garments and all this sort of leather things. The belt is pretty cool. It's got a gold death's head on it. It's got some like sort of punk rock looking little spiky things. The hair is actually the braid is kind of cool at the side like that. But the figure itself, the body has very little articulation, and so I'm almost tempted to take something like this and cannibalize it for parts. That is, use the head, reuse the clothing, and put it on a different figure, maybe a Triad Toys, a TB League, a Kumik, maybe a Psy Girls, and see if you can't make a really ultra articulated, cool posing Lara Croft figure that can do something more than just sort of have this one knee bent. What would you do with the totally naked, beheaded figurine left over? Don't know. I think you could probably resell it to somebody who's got some kind of weird art project, or make it into a weird art project yourself. Not sure, but either way, this is actually a cool figure for photographs. With the head and the body, and you can just sort of like have them be kind of sort of stoically posed. But I think if you want to do something a little bit more and go outside the bounds, I think you're going to have to spend more money on a better figure. This thing clocked in at under $30 delivered to my door, which is not bad. These are actually difficult to find. The box is in such a way that you can repack it and it can look kind of new in the box-ish at a later time. I think that's pretty good. So overall, I'd probably give it about a 3 out of 5. If it had better articulation, moving arms, moving hips, etc., it could have at least gotten a 4, but we'll leave it at that. So, hey, I wanted to give a quick addendum. I did a little bit of foozling with the figure like I talked about. I was able to strip off the top garment, the shorts, the pretty cool belt with gold death's head, and two side pistol holsters. And I was even able to get the head off, and it didn't require a blow dryer or anything like that, or putting it in boiling water. I was able to just gently apply pressure on it and essentially strip the body. And on this Lara Croft figure, this is what you're left with. It's a figurine that is 2 pieces. It is attached to the torso here in a bikini. So this is probably like a generic buck that they use over and over again for probably anime characters and, you know, anything else. And all they have to do is just add some new cool boots to it. Anyways, I stripped it down, and as I said, I put it on a Psy Girls. I used a Shadow, and Shadow is the ninja girl because she has black boots. I figure that would look the best with this character. And I was able to put on all the clothes and the head. And the head goes right on a Psy Girl's body. You have to get the right hands to hold the pistols. I finally took them out of the case, as you can see. But I have a working 12-inch Lara Croft Tomb Raider that has so much articulation, can do so much posing, and is going to become a hero here at the Action Figuratorium. So if you can find one of these figures, these Lara Croft Tomb Raider 12-inch figures, and it's really more of a figurine at this point, well, just know that you can get a Angelina Jolie Lara Croft head sculpt. Looks a bit like Rey from Star Wars. It's got this cool weird braid. You also get the skin-tight garment, and you get the cool holsters and whatnot for it. So whatever a head would cost you and whatever the outfit and guns would cost you, weigh that against what the cost of the figure is. If you see one up for really cheap and it doesn't need to be new in the package, you know, all you need is the head and the clothes, I think that this is a perfect way to customize and mod and upgrade 2 figures in one. Anyways, now I will talk to you at the next one.